Yes, good evening and welcome to your favorite sports program on the Thursday evening. I'm Lockhart Sebastian and
Ron Lander.
and
Dr. Thompson Fontaine.
Emmanuel Lobach hasn't joined us yet, so we start with a prayer, a spiritual prayer, before we go into details of what we're going to be discussing tonight.
Oh, what a foretaste of glory divine, there of salvation, purchase of God, born of His Spirit, washed in His blood. My soul, praising my Savior, this is my song,
Praising my Savior, the Lord. Of rapture, on my side, just descending, bring from above, echoes of mercy, whispers of love. This is my story, this is
my song, praising
my Savior.
my story.
This is my song, praising my Savior all the day long.
Perfect submission, all is at rest. I in my Savior was happy
and blessed,
watching
and waiting,
looking up, filled with His goodness, lost
in His love.
This
is my story,
this is my song,
praising my Savior all the day long. My song.
Yeah, Lobby, I hear you singing. Lobby, good night, my brother.
Good night, how are you doing?
Good. So tonight, what we're going to be discussing, we have a lot of stuff. We're going to be speaking to the volleyball people. I think the season is at the business end now. We'll be speaking to Ron Green. I'm sure Dr. Fontaine would know about that. I think so. The Southeast are getting some goodies from some of the fans in Houston, I think. So Ron Green will join us. Val Felix, the lobby, you would have heard of Val Felix. Dr. Andres texted me saying that he has died. So he'll be joining us for a few minutes, and then we'll speak to St. Heavy Shillingford about Val Felix, because I never saw Val Felix bat. He and Ozzy always said that he was better, he was the best bat center we ever had. So we'll hear from Havis. And then we'll also hear from Andrew Mason about what's happening in Barbados. And we'll finish up discussing the cricket, because, first time I see a test match, I thought it was 11 against 11, but 11 against 13 that playing a test match. 11 against 13. I have never seen umpires playing the fool like that.
True.
I want this fellas need to take an eye test on a seriously.
I alone?
No, but how do people? I couldn't believe what I saw today. Honestly,
I know.
mean, Chase and Hope, man. I mean, this will have to be something else. And and that pitch, guys. 200 runs will not be straightforward for
True.
West Indies.
Yeah.
True,
200
true.
runs, and it could be curtains for West Indies. So tomorrow, West Indies need to get an early breakthrough because this pitch and
And-
also sluggish. So I suspect that match could very well end tomorrow.
Then
Could very well.
and see, we must take our catches.
Well, I don't know what the hell is going on. I mean, people
That
cannot be
could have
dropping
been a big difference.
easy catches like that. Easy. You already have your umpires against you, and you're still not catching the blasted ball. So tomorrow is a crucial. And you know, guys, that is why Test cricket is the best. You watch South Africa
That's
against
yeah.
Australia. You watch England against India. In fact, there's a Test match going on all now. Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. What's his name? Nisanka has just got back-to-back centuries because it's on TV in the morning from night time. So there's a lot of Test cricket, and that's why.
And then the British, England and India.
That's what I just said.
That-
Yeah. So
that-
Test cricket,
great.
because you watching this thing in America going now, the Major League Cricket, and sometimes nobody's there watching that. And
That game
And
is
the
so.
NBA finals.
oh yeah, Oklahoma man. In fact, I saw them partying all this week.
That was
They partying all this
tremendous
week.
But Sibo,
Mhm.
hadn't that Halliburton went down, the different game here?
Which one?
When the start of Indiana, when he went down, when he got hit there.
Oh, Halliburton. Well, they say, Louis, when in sports, one person injured is next man up.
No,
next
no,
man up,
for the entire, don't forget, for the entire series, that's the second time that has happened to him. In
Well, he
crucial
must be
moments.
regretting he played because he had this injury, and now he's
But
not
you
going
have
to
to
play for
play,
whole year
Sibo.
now. He'll be out for a whole year.
Yeah, Sibo, you have to play, big money,
Well, yeah, but nobody will still get paid. Well, he's not going to. He'll get paid. He's not going to play for a whole year now.
Because
he,
I
he
mean,
had
listen,
his injury.
this Achilles injury is not easy.
Yeah, it's
It
yeah,
is
he's
not
going to be down.
easy.
He's going to be
That's
down
it.
for a year. Well, Dr. Fountain, you need to tell us what happened last week. You weren't here, so we need to know what happened last
Yes,
week.
well, last week,
Thursday.
last Thursday was, so it was a really great time we had in Woodfordale. We were able to go out in the early afternoon and met many people at their homes, met the young boys on the block and so on. And that's a common feature in Dominican villages now. You go out there in the early afternoon, and there are young men just sitting around, not working, and it is so prevalent all over the country. And so we're able to, use that opportunity to talk to them and so on about, the plans that we have. Of course, we've kind of put those plans in a form of 10 pillars.
By the way, I heard a man say he has to respond to your plan. There's a guy say he has to respond to you. So anyway, go ahead.
Well, it's good. I think what we want to encourage is discussions around the future of our country. How do we move our country from where we are to where we want to be? So, we welcome the discussion. And those plans are not set in stone, but what they are is that it gives us some kind of a blueprint to moving forward. We're talking about equity of wages. We're talking about revitalizing the agriculture sector, looking at our cultural industries, our sports, tourism. So range of areas that we believe that we're able to increase our earning power and increase the growth in the economy. As you know, our economy has been growing on average by about 1% a year. And that is just not good enough. We need to get that up to 6, 7, 8%. And so part of that discussion or that plan is to get the economy in that place. Because when you begin to look at manufacturing, at agriculture, you start to boost the economy, and so all of this is the plans that we were able to bring out on last Thursday. And it was really good because we had a very good showing. A number of persons came out to listen, and of course, we also carried it live. Part of it on Q, and also it's on social media. So it continues to make the rounds, continues to generate a lot of interest. We are moving now to Grand Form next Saturday, Thursday.
You're at home, I guess. Yeah.
So we're moving to my village next Thursday. I'm excited about that. And then after that, we have other constituencies: Salisbury, Marigot, and La Plaine, Wesley. So we'll be going to everywhere. Now, people have been asking, saying, well, why just these constituencies? Let me just assure everyone that the plan is to go everywhere. Okay, we cannot be everywhere every time, and we want to make it so that people get enough time. So we believe we have some time, and so that's how we plan to do it.
I'm particularly interested in the morale of the people out there because of this airport project. You hear all sorts of stories. Some people say they haven't gotten their money, others claim people getting more than them and people property less than them. I'm particularly interested in that.
Yes, especially in the Wesley constituency, a lot of heartbreaking stories. A number of people they did not receive, either they did not receive what they thought their properties was worth. Their crops were taken away from them; they were not compensated. So what we did, in fact, at that meeting, was to give the assurance to the Wesley people that under the United Workers' Party we will take a look at whatever was agreed on with the government, because we don't believe that the process has been fair to them. And we will look again at the value of the property, do a revaluation, do a re-exercise, and where needs be, we will need to compensate those who are undercompensated. So that's the assurance that we gave to the people of Wesley, because based on the stories we heard, it is clear that there is a lot of problems in terms of the way the government and who they decide to give, and also, the amount that they decide to give to whom. So it is not a fair process at all under this administration, and that is very unfortunate. And also, if you're going to go into such a major project, it's important that the people who are most impacted, the people whose homes you're taking away from them, they must be compensated. And that's why when United Workers' Party did a similar exercise, the first thing they did was to pay everybody. Everybody got the same amount, the same valuation, and everybody were able to receive that. But we have a lot of persons who have either not been paid, they've been underpaid. Some of them are still waiting to negotiate. Others are on the brink. There is a guy whose house is literally on the edge of the airport. But because he is not a supporter, they're not telling him. So he doesn't know if at some point they will break his house or not. He's in the state of limbo. He's literally on the edge. He can put his hand out and touch the plane when the plane is landing, based on where he is.
Why you will not be able to stay there?
So it is clear at some point they're gonna break it or gonna take it. But the fact is, up to now, they have not.
So
told
nobody
him
has
anything.
told him
Nobody
anything.
has told him anything.
Because I think he has to have an alternative. He has to get somebody to stay.
So nobody has told him anything, but he just knows, given where the house is, it's clear that it has to be moved. But he has not received any kind of wood. So it is not, they have not done very well there at all, the government, in terms of helping people out there.
Does your entity have the ability to do an engineering analysis of the airport project?
Currently,
Yeah.
well, we'd have to get the experts involved. But the other thing is, I don't know if they would allow access, because if you're going to do, for example, if you're going to do an analysis of the ground and of the so on, you probably need to be able to access the area.
Whatever information is available,
I don't
do the
think that
analysis
they,
based on whatever information is available.
Yeah, because it seems that there is an issue. They've been trying to use the concrete, the cement, to somehow make the ground firmer, but I'm not sure how effective that is. So there are people who are saying that it's not going to work. So yeah, it's just a lot of issues around that, and that would be a good thing to do. But what we do know is that the environmental impact assessment has not been made known. People don't really know. It's not been made public. So even that document is not available.
Yeah, but you all need to look at that, because when you look at the Chinese, they've got a poor record of performance in Dominica. All the projects that they have been involved in have been compromised. And now they're involved in a major project. So somebody needs to come independently and analyze what's happening.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I'm sure you guys discussed the collapse of the roof last week, right?
Well, that is something I find people taking this lightly. That could have been a catastrophe in Dominica.
Imagine you have classrooms of young kids in there. My goodness. I mean,
No, but what I am saying, you try to wonder, how does something that happen, a new building, and it just collapse like that? So you just don't know other buildings about the place. What can happen?
Yeah.
What can happen?
Yeah.
And I find people take too many things lightly in Dominica.
And
because
it's very interesting, because probably 2-3 months ago, there was an earthquake in Thailand, in Bangladesh, I believe it was, and then it had ripple effects in Bangkok, and only one building collapsed. And there was a building that the parent company of the company building this airport is involved in, was constructed.
What?
Yeah, the parent company of CR10, Chinese Railroad 10, their parent company, the one that was building, and then the only building to collapse, a huge multi-story skyscraper building. Only one collapsed in the whole city, collapsed on itself. So there was a lot of questions being asked then about this particular company, their building, and a lot of it had to do with the steel that was used, in the construction. And now we're seeing that even at the ground. I mean, I'm no builder, But when you look at the size of the steel that is used, and and one area appears to have steel, the others not, then you realize you have a problem. But these are issues that certainly must be concerning. And now I'm sure the cost of the building now is going to be 4 or 5 times what it was, because you have to start, I don't know, probably start from scratch. Probably have to not do a roof like that. I don't know.
Because, you know, a lot of things happened to me. Last week, Saturday, I going to Colby Street, and then I saw a lot of heavy equipment and policemen, and so I'm wondering what the hell is going on. And then between Collier and Colby Street, a place called Bulo, a lot of equipment, caterpillar, like thing for a crusher. Then I was told that this American company going to start something down there again in Bulo. So I said, but why would they have had to have all these policemen there on guard? I'm trying to wonder what's happening. If you drive down there now, go to Collier, you'll see all this equipment there. Between Collier, they call it Bulo. So it's
that quarry right there on the flat there.
right. Well, the land, they said some American company bought all the land. That land, it belonged to the Garraways and Dr. Shillingford and them, these people. So they bought all the land in Bulo, I understand, and they're going to start a quarry. But you know what I'm saying? Down there already have, in the Collier area, you have Gada Khan, you have Paris Williams, then you have the Roger Williams, and you're going to have another one again. So there must be something that is happening, money they're making to have all these quarries down there. And the only thing I wonder about why policemen had to be down there. So you're trying to wonder what's really going on. Because things happen in Dominica, you don't even know, you know. It's like, guys, I mean, people didn't see a whole week, no TV. And then Flo is telling people now they have to calculate how much more refund they'll give people. And it's only next month they can do that. People didn't have TV for a whole week in Dominica. And nobody's saying anything. You couldn't watch anything. People that, depending on it to hear the radio, couldn't hear it. And people just accepting that. It's like anything goes here. Anything goes. People just accept it. Yeah.
Zibo,
Mm-hmm.
I don't listen to you. Said you just say everything goes.
Yeah.
The same thing goes with West Indies cricket, because last week we had the director and you had Sammy on the program, and they tried to give an excuse why Hodge and Afanaz, these players, were exempted from the West Indies team. And up to this present time, nothing was plausible, nothing at all. You look at average, and you know what that really hurt me the most, Sebastian? You as a selector, you're a selector. Both Sammy and Bascom were looking at England. But the performance which they forgot was the test series, the test we won in Australia, where he played the role he played in the batting. All right? The role he played, that is what is needed right now. We need, first, look, as I said earlier about Bob Baders and the way the wicket is playing, you need, somebody has to stay there. Somebody has to stay there. And what they did to Hodge and Afanas, to me, it was a this service. And that Sammy, they look very, very cookie himself.
Yeah, Thompson,
Yes.
what the points that are being raised there sort of emphasize the need to have an integrated development plan. And you all need to start with your limitations. You need to start working on that. We cannot go year by year, and in the middle of the year, we have a supplementary estimate. A year plan, and we can't keep to a year plan. In between the middle of the year, we come with another plan. So we are not getting anywhere. Consequently, there's an urgent need for an integrated development plan for Dominica. And this is something you came up with your 10 points. You all need to sit down and start putting together an integrated development plan and explain to the people. That's where we'd like to see Dominica in 5 years. That's where we'd like to see Dominica in 10 years. You know, and a classic thing, and you made mention of it, is water. We're importing so many different types of bottled water in Dominica. You know, and this is a matter that we can use to generate significant revenue for Dominica.
You know, guys, that's why Sports Trap is really popular. Well, I just spoke about the TV. We get information. Due to the recent outage, all TV customers will get a 12% rebate and enjoy 40 plus premium channels free until July 2nd. Thanks for choosing Flow. That's why Sports Trap is. We have a caller. Good evening. Good evening.
Sibo, good evening, and everybody.
How are
that
you? How are
is
you, lady?
listening.
How are you?
Okay.
Mhm.
Sibo,
By
I
the way,
have
before
one
you go,
question to
Wimbledon
ask.
starts on Monday. Before you go, I'm sure you know. Go ahead, anyhow.
I have one question to ask you, and
Right.
if you can give me the response, if you do
Mhm.
have it, it's okay.
Mhm.
And then that is it. I won't call again for the night.
No, you can. No, no. We
There's
want
a
you to
place
call.
and time for everything.
We want you to
And
call.
Sports Rap is a popular program. The
Right.
whole world listen to Sports Rap.
Mhm.
So when we're on Sports Rap, we have to know what we say, you know?
Mhm.
We have to be professional. So that's why I didn't ask that question when
Mhm.
Sammy was there.
Mhm.
I didn't want to look as though it's a con, you know?
Mhm.
So now I'm asking you play cricket, just that one question.
Mhm.
Do you have any average, his average, when he used to play cricket, that is Sammy? How many hundreds he made? How much 50s? How many 40s?
Okay, what I can tell you off my head, he made one test 100. I know that for sure. In first class cricket, I think he made one. I was his manager. He was the captain for years. Windwards. I know he made 100 in a first class. It wasn't Barbados. That I know I was there. His batting average in Test cricket was about 22 or 23. That off my head, I can tell you that.
25.
I don't think it was 25. I don't think his batting average was 25. So off my head, hold on, without checking it for you now, we can get it for you right now. Don't go.
I'm there.
Yeah, stay there, stay right there. Yeah, because it wasn't anything outstanding. I mean, that I can tell you. Yeah, but we're getting it for you right now.
Well, what's the
Hold on.
His average was 21.6.
That I know. His batting average was 21, and his bowling, how many wickets?
Yeah, so I asked that question because I still on Asanes and Hodge.
Mhm.
He was talking about average and don't get and whatever he was saying, emotional and whatever he was saying.
Mhm.
So I wanted to know, when he played, what was really his average? That's why I'm asking you that.
Well, yeah, it wasn't anything like that, 25 for sure. Surely wasn't there.
105 50s.
So
Okay.
his average wasn't that high.
No,
Thank
definitely.
you very
21,
much,
21.
No, you're
Good night,
welcome.
Elsie and your wife.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, that I know. I mean, Darren's average was, some people say he was fortunate. That's all. some
But
people-
on the cricket, I've been making that point for quite a while. Those two players have been going through a bad patch and needed assistance. They are from a small island, and we know how guys operate. And I've been saying that these guys need mental, technical assistance, and nobody paid attention. So you have Afanaz played how many games in the last 2 years? Afanaz wasn't getting runs. He played in the local league. He played in the breakout league against South Africa. He played all the games. Kavim Mojo only played one game. In the local league, Kavim scored 2 centuries. But generally, these guys needed technical support. And nobody, I was crying for the Dominica. I was crying for Windward Islands. And I even raised it with Sammy and them. This guy needs technical support. And we need to give them the technical support so they can bounce back very quickly on the West Indies stage.
No, what I would ask you, you say that, when you say we, what I know, these guys are on retainer, by the way, they're contracting West Indies Cricket Board until end of July. They have coaches assigned to them. Even at the
True.
Windwards franchise, based in St. Vincent, there are coaches there. They have the head coach, assistant coaches, guys supposed to be based there. So when you say they need it, there are coaches that are supposed to be working with them.
Yeah, Sibo, you're a connoisseur on cricket.
Mm.
And I can only discuss cricket with you. I cannot argue cricket with you. I have a lot of respect for you in that particular area. But notwithstanding, when you see players making the same error over and over again, like our boy Afanaz, you can see that the guy has a mental problem and he needs the kind of support.
Well, what you need is a psychologist. You don't think so?
Recall,
in
I
situations like this.
with Lloyd.
Yeah.
Remember when West Indies was going for the change and Lloyd brought in a psychologist?
Well, they had Dr. Rudy Webster at the time.
Very good.
Dr. Rudy Webster. Yeah.
And that turnaround West Indies cricket.
Rudy Webster. Let's take this caller. Good evening.
Hello?
Yes, hello. Yeah.
Yeah, how are you, boys? How are you doing?
Henry Dyer. How are you, sir?
Well, you know, the last program I spoke about Athens and Corbin Hodge. Remember, and I spoke about big match temperament. Now, I said this
Babs
in Australia.
Babs Dyer.
And
Babs
they
Dyer.
showed some mention of this. And looking at this match now, and I even mentioned, as a matter of fact, I even mentioned, and this fellow, S. Joseph, the fellow Joseph now.
Shama.
Shama Joseph. Yeah.
They show big match temperament. And you could not say things of Kevin Hodge and Athena. When they went for test, they have failed. You couldn't say that. So I couldn't understand how you could drop these two fellas. Now look, I wouldn't be surprised they have to call them for the next test match in when they play in Antigua or St. Kitts.
Well, which are the test match now? In Barbados?
But you can see, I mean, and then another thing, catches win matches.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Athanasia, I'm subject to correction, but I think since he's on the team, he has taken some brilliant catches in his list. If I'm not mistaken, since he's
You're correct. You're correct. He's have him as well. Both of them. Yeah.
So, boy, I don't know. I'm looking for, and then no Windward Island. Somebody made the point. I think it's over. Nobody made the point when they dropped these two Windward Island fellas. Nobody made a big fuss about it in the Windward Island, on the Leeward Island, and I think it was a grave injustice for them to have dropped these two fellas. And Sammy, I mean, hadn't it been for this fella who was the ambassador of St. Lucia, Sammy wouldn't have been playing.
You're talking about Ernest Hillier, right?
But my second point is I want to I don't know if you fellas know that Val Felix passed.
Well, Babs, hold on. I told your wife today, tell you, we're going to have Havis first, Doctor. Listen, Dr. Andre first will be speaking to us about that, and then Havis at some point tonight. Yeah. So I hope you can call when we're discussing that, Val Felix. Okay?
One of the greatest black cricketers.
Well, you all saw them. I didn't know him. I never saw him back. So Havis will tell us. I never really saw him. Yeah. So when we're discussing that, you can probably call on it. So on that note, guys, we'll take our first break. Right. Yeah, let's take our first break.
Where in Roseau, Kimasha is you can just walk in and order all your chicken parts, wholesale, and even enjoy retail. It's at AC Shillingford. All chicken parts available that you can afford. Fresh breast. And you know breast is best. Shillingford wings have muscle. After you eat it, you can fly. As for Shillingford chicken drumsticks, even swinging stars just order drumsticks from Shillingford. And for those of you who love Risapul, AC Shillingford keeps your belly full. Buy your chicken wholesale at AC Shillingford. From wings to thighs to drums to breasts to backs to necks. It's available. It's always available and it's affordable. Plus, you've got pork feet, ham and turkey, bull foot, chicken nuggets, pepperoni, all those right seasonings to make your kitchen keep on ticking. Buy your wholesale chicken at AC Shillingford. When you think of chicken, think of AC Shillingford. Always ready.
When you want the best, you do shop at SCA. Better than the rest, go shop at SCA. And they often wear they shop at SCA. You get more for what they say. Shop at SCA. Shop at SCA. Yeah, shop at SCA. Shop at SCA. What they say. Shop at SCA. Yes, family, customer friendly. With free locations, it's so convenient. And our prices, Madam, that's where you belong. Oh, tell your mama, tell your papa, shop at SCA. Tell your son and your daughter, shop at SCA. Auntie, nan, and cousin, friend, open power, all of them. Grandma, grandpa, couple, neighbor, girlfriend, boyfriend, side. What? Shop at SCA. Shop at SCA. Shop at SCA. Shop at SCA. Check us out at Pottersville, High Street, and downtown Rose. The New India Insurance Company has reopened its doors in Portsmouth, offering the same great services you get in Roseau. Motor vehicle insurance, home and business owners, fire and related perils, public liability, and so much more. Come, visit us today for insurance with a personal touch on Bay Street, Portsmouth, or call us at 445-4023. We are ready to serve you. Dominicans, insure your property, protect your property. You homeowner, And businessman, protect your property, insure your property. Can't wait for the hurricane, can't wait till you flood again, can't wait till your roof fly out and all your business coming out. Remember, no insurance company will insure your property when a storm is approaching. Get ahead of the hurricane season. Insure with a company who gives you the assurance of payment for your valid claim. Come speak with us today at the New India Assurance Company Limited, upstairs AC Shillingford and Company Limited, 24 King George Street, Roseville. Bring along an up-to-date valuation from a qualified engineer and get insured today. Looking for a quiet, relaxing place to stay? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Leaving the office late and need somewhere close to town? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Have business clients coming in and need accommodation? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Looking for group accommodation? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Located at 37 Goodwill Road in Portersville, upstairs ACS Supermarket. Enjoy our semi-self-contained rooms with private washroom, bathroom, Wi-Fi, air condition, cable network, mini refrigerator, all in a non-smoking environment. Call or WhatsApp at 1767-275-1899 or email us at info@portersplaceguesthouse.com to make your reservations. Porter's Place, your home away from home. Fit for a king, a queen, and all their royal subjects.
Yes, and we're back, and we're going to be talking, well, football and, well, club football, really. And on the line with us, we have former education and sports
Well, no,
minister.
they just called me and said they honored.
We have with us Mr. Ronald Green. Good night, Mr. Ron Green. Good night, sir.
Good night.
Well, the whole
Yes, how are you?
the whole crew is there. Lobby is there. Ronald Lander is there. Dr. Fountain is there. The whole crew is there. Right.
Okay, good night, everybody. Good to see you.
Yes.
Yes,
Well, Ron, we have a pamphlet in front of us, a leaflet in front of us about the Southeast. We understood you were in Houston recently, making a presentation to the Houston community up there on behalf of Southeast football team. So I'm sure you want to tell everybody about that. Even the people in Houston are listening. I'm sure you want to tell them about it.
Yes, I'm sure you're still listening. In
Yeah.
fact, I queued them on. And so, yeah, thanks once again. And let me say good night to everybody, to Thompson, to yourself, to Brother
Lobby and Ronald, yeah.
and everyone.
Yeah.
Good to be on, as usual. I was very fortunate. I mean, I've had 3 visits to Houston over the last couple of years, and each of the times I've gone, the Dominica Houston Association has been very, very supportive. I mean, the first president, Dale Dangleben, was very supportive a few years ago. And then now, the new president, Glenn Bannis, and when I recently went, we had a meeting, and he quite graciously agreed to allow myself and the Southeast Football Club to organize a raffle during their annual picnic, Dominica picnic, which was on the 25th of May in Houston. And that raffle, the proceeds of that raffle would go towards the support for Southeast Football Club. Because we had put together a proposal, which I've shown you.
Yeah, we have it right in front of us.
Yeah, right. And that proposal sort of identifies some of the present needs that we have, and we were targeting certain things to get the club up to a certain level. And I must once again publicly thank Glenn Bannis and the Dominica Houston Association. They were very supportive. The raffle was a big success. Of course, a lot of people stepped up to the plate to really make sure that thing was a success. I mean, I want to mention, first of all, my daughter Josefina and her husband, Elroy Timothy. People like Ricky Allen from La Plaine, Sherlon Geist, and Eric Thomas, and a number of other La Plainians and Dominicans in Missouri City area of Houston. Very, very supportive. And the raffle was a success. We were able to raffle a 50-inch flat screen TV for first prize, a Caribbean basket of Caribbean goodies, second prize, and a ticket to Indulgence as third prize. And after the costs were taken out, we had an amount in the vicinity of $1,200, just a shade under $1,200, which went towards the Southeast Football Club. Now, we got, in addition to those $1,200, which we earned from the raffle, we were able to get another approximately 400 or so, nearly 500 from donations, just outright donations from other Dominicans. So altogether, we had approximately $1,500 to work with, and with that, we were able to purchase polo shirts for the players, staff uniforms, water bottles, hose, balls, and bags, equipment bags, which I transported back to Dominica about 2 weeks ago when I came back home. And the team is presently using them as they enter round 2. Now, as you know, round 2 is the key round when decisions are made and titles are decided. We had a relatively poor first round, 3 wins, 3 draws at Southeast Football Club and 3 losses. But we started our first match in round 2 drawing with the present champions and the present first place team, Dublin, 1-1. So there is a spark in Southeast, and we have 8 other games to play in round 2. And we're looking forward. We're looking big, and the spirit is high. So we're optimistic.
Well, let me ask you, Ron, before you went, was it a surprise or you had discussed that with your club before that you were going to make the presentation when you went to Houston? Or you did it so and surprised the guys when you came, including people like Dr. Franklin?
Well, I realized that the support had been coming from previous initiatives. I have 2 other times I was in Houston, and they came through very nicely. So upon arriving, I put together the mini proposal within a week. I sent it to the president of the board, of which Thompson is a member, and put together what I knew were the needs of the club and discussed that with the president, but we added 1 or 2 things. So it was a sort of a collaborative effort to me as manager and the president of the board in a few days, because in fact I arrived in late April, almost at the end of April, and by the 10th of May, we had already met with the president and he had agreed. So we had approximately about 12 to 15 days to get the raffle going, to get the prizes, to get the tickets, start selling tickets before the picnic. We also sold at the picnic itself. So it was a relatively short space of time, and without just my daughter and Elroy and Ricky Allen and a few others that really helped, we couldn't have done it in such a short period of time. So yes, it is a club initiative, and we're very happy. Things were turned over to the club. They wore, in fact, the polo shirts at the first match against Dublin. The staff was in uniform in that first match, and so we're already putting what has been come out of the Houston initiative to use.
Yes, Mr. Green, Ron Green. You've been involved with the football club, the Southeast Football Club, for a while now. Are you
25 years?
25 years. That's a long period.
That's a while.
That's a lifetime for some people.
Quite a commitment. Yeah. What progress are you seeing in the quality of football in the Southeast?
Well, we've had 2 relatively low years. Remember, we won the championships, Dominican National Championship at the Premier Division in 21 and 22. So we had double champions in those 2 years. And then the subsequent 2 years, Dublin became the champions. And we slipped in those 2 years, 23 and 24. We were about 4th or 5th in both of those years. So there was a bit of a backward slippage, which we were hoping to get a new start in 25. And it involved a number of issues, and strengthening the board, strengthening the issue of discipline and commitment. Talent has always been there. So I think we're on a good foot right now. A new board has been elected in the AGM that was held early in the year in February. And we're on track. I think we look good, and let's see how round 2 goes. I don't want to make any predictions, but I think we're looking good.
The sport of football is growing in the U.S. I'm not too sure the status in Houston, but did you attempt to get any kind of technical assistance whilst you were in the U.S.?
No, I didn't really discuss that. I didn't really, but I think that is certainly an area that the DFA could explore more vigorously. The issue of technical support, not only for strengthening clubs. See, clubs, especially our club, and a lot, I would say about 80% of the premier clubs in Dominica right now are what I would call community clubs. So it's a special kind of club. It's not the typical professional club that FIFA and CONCACAF may deal with in other countries. We're really based in communities, small communities, and the issue of ensuring that the clubs are participatory, they're democratic, they're accountable, and they strengthen their relations and build relations with the community is very important. So I think that's an area of technical assistance that I've said that to the clubs, the DFA, on more than one occasion, that the issue of club strengthening is an important component of the work that they do, and they ought to put more attention to it, because the clubs have to function, and increasingly, what you see for many years, of those 25 years, for 23 years, we only essentially played a premier team. And in 2024, for the first time, we took on a women's team, under 15 team, and under 20 team. So we're talking about 4 teams in a club that serves 5 rural villages from Daly to Grand Forks. There's quite a bit of issue when you're talking about 4 teams that have to be transported to training and transported to the matches in different parts of the country. And the staff involved in coaching and managing each of those clubs. It's quite a task. And there are a lot of challenges that a club undertaking that kind of work has to meet.
Lobby, you wanted to ask Mr. Green a question?
No, just want to.
Lobby, I think Lobby wanted to say something.
No, just to Sebastian. I know Mr. Green for a very long time. We go way back in track and field basketball, Indeed. So I think that what he has done is not an easy task in terms that is, in terms of being at the forefront. It's not easy. I'd like to Ron to continue doing the good work which you are doing. I wish Southeast all the best in the second round.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And indeed, Ron, if I could speak on behalf of the board, I missed the meeting last Monday because I was traveling. But I really wouldn't like to express sincere thanks, to you for what you've done. The fact that you continue to work so diligently on behalf of the Southeast Club, and you continue to offer your services as well to the young men and so on to help them to improve the game and to guide them. I mean, what you have done is truly deserving of Dominica's highest national honor. And I hope that some way the authorities that consider that, because I think you've really done, you've gone way over and above, your call of duty. And we really thank you for that commitment, that dedication. And it does make a difference. And that's probably why the guys won, against Dupla, because when they met them the last time, they got defeated. But this time they had their water bottles, they were looking sharp, they were all at their warm-up stuff together and so on. And those things make a difference, the sense of pride I saw exhibited, it's a boost to their morale, and that could very well have inspired them to their performance, So thank you very much, and I really appreciate everything that you do.
Ron, you sent me this article about the Dominica to commence work on synthetic track facility. I suspect you have a little concerns about that before we let you go. Yeah, I suspect you have a few concerns about this track, the synthetic track.
Well, track and field is my special sport.
Right.
I ran track and field in high school in the States, and without track and field, I would not have been able to go to university. My parents just couldn't afford university tuition. So I got a full scholarship because of track and field to Manhattan College, and I became the captain of the team up there, and I ran 400 meters. I was a 400-meter hurdle champion of New York State in 1962. Yeah, and continued track for quite a few years after. So I am very concerned about and very happy that there is an initiative to have a tartan and synthetic track in the country. I am sure that it is Thea Lafon's success, gold medal in the Olympics, that has pushed that a long way forward. It has been in the cards, I would suspect, for some years, but Thea's success, praise be to her, has given it a big boost. One of the thoughts I had, frankly, was that all of our top facilities should not be on the West Coast, and I was thinking the East Coast is ideally suited for such a facility. And my thinking is that since Thea has traditional roots, family roots in Castle Bruce, that would be an excellent location for such a facility. And there's quite a nice piece of property right by the seaside there, next to the field, that could possibly serve. I don't know to what extent it was considered in the options, because in the stuff I read, they said there were options that they looked at, and Pont Round seemed to be the best. So I'm just mentioning that in terms of my own experience and feeling that a top-notch international East facility in the East will do a lot for Eastern athletics, football, and a lot of other sports.
Yeah,
and it's just a 35-minute drive now to Castle Bruce, from town. So it's yeah.
Okay, Ron. Well, I just want to say thanks, and as everybody has said, they wanted you to continue. Without you, probably Southeast may not have been in existence now. So full credit must go to you. And Thompson made the point, all kind of other people have gotten national awards. You will be perfect person to get probably one of the country's highest award for the continued thing you do with Southeast and sports in general. And we just want to congratulate you and tell you to keep on doing what you're doing, man. Keep on doing what you're doing.
Well, let me say, Sibo, I couldn't do it all those years without the top support of people, coaches like Timon Coffey, Alicia Prince, Kareem Vigilant, David Williams, coaches like Gavaskar Charles. Yes. So they gave us long, outstanding service. Yeah, indeed, there's a lot of others who have done some outstanding work with Southeast over the years, and of course the giants of the earlier days, like Pharaoh and a number of others, Malian and so on. Yes.
Okay, so thank you, Ron. Thank you. As we move on, we're going to talk some athletics. But guys, I just want to mention something. Trevor Bertrand up in the Canada said he got full scholarship for the first Dominican female player to get a scholarship to an accredited university at the Southwestern Oklahoma State University. I think her name is, what's the name there? Let me see, get a name. I think it's Lamaya Ford. Yes, I think she's from the Portsmouth area.
That he got into.
Yeah, he got into.
Congratulations.
First female player to get a scholarship at an accredited university. So she's going to go to Southwestern Oklahoma State University. Trevor Bertrand up in Canada.
Oh, this is great. This is great.
Interestingly, the Dominican Athletics Association had the annual juvenile championship over the weekend, and they had it at the Geneva playing field. This underscores the need for the athletic stadium. There were 121 athletes from 9 affiliated clubs, and they were ages from 7 to 15. And there was a lot of talent and commitment. I don't know why Windsor Park was not used, but this underscores, with the young talent that we have, it underscores the need for the development of facilities, athletic facilities, to accommodate and to encourage those young players.
Well, they might say they put in like in Windsor Park, that's why probably.
No, but you're talking about athletics. And you go to Geneva on grass, and you run on grass. We need to graduate, because when our players go abroad, when athletes go abroad, they don't run on grass. They run on synthetic tracks. So we've got to get up to that level.
Yeah, well, you're right. I mean, well, they need to diversify, man. We cannot have everything. As Ron Green just said, something in the East. Lobby, what do you think of that? a facility up in the east, eh?
Well, Sebastian, well, I just heard that from Ron in terms of, I mean, you're from Corley, I'm from Tongue. In terms of land, availability of land, Dominic, I just don't know. I just listening to the to Ron. I didn't realize they have such a piece of land available. But just to respond to what Landa just said there. There's nothing wrong, Landa. Nothing wrong competing on grass. There's nothing wrong competing on grass. But you need the synthetic track to take you to the next level. Because what happens, we have utilized in my tenure in sports in Dominica, we have utilized Geneva Field a great deal. We had Geneva, we had Windsor Park, we had Marigot, Layo Park, and you had Portsmouth.
Okay,
like this field.
Yeah, hold that thought. We have with us the PRO of the Volleyball Association, Mr. Sidney John. So he's going to be telling us what's happening. I think they're down on the business end of volleyball now. Good night, sir.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
Good. Right. So tell us, what's happening now? You're all up to the finals now? That's what's happening?
So in the two men's divisions, we are up to the final. And in the women's division, we are going to have game 3 of the semi-final series. So on Sunday, we have in the Division 2 finals, R&D Academy versus Club 1. And that's game 1. In game 3 of the women's semi-finals, we have Sunrise versus Club 1. And in game 1 of the men's Division 1 final, we have Sunrise versus Club 1.
Where these matches are going to be played?
So all of these matches will be at the Massac Indoor facility, and we are asking patrons to just give us a $5 contribution as they come in.
Yeah, and what time do you start?
The first game is at 4. That's the Division 2 game. At 6, we have the women's game, and at 8 p.m., we have the men's Division 1.
So the men's Division 1 final. Who are the two teams again? Which are the two teams?
So in the Division 2 final, it's R&D Academy versus Club 1. And in the Division 1 final, it's Sunrise versus Club 1.
Can you repeat what day?
That's on Sunday. Sunday, July 29th.
July 29th. Okay, yes. Very good. And we need to publicize that a little more. You need to get on the various radio stations and let people know. Because this is healthy entertainment. And we on Sports Wrap, we encourage persons to go to support healthy entertainment, support sports.
Yeah, definitely.
Support our young sports people.
Yes.
Now, the other area I want to ask you about is the preparation for the Nausicaa World Championship. How is this going? The qualifying tournament.
That's going pretty good. Actually, I'm at the beach right now. We just finished playing a few practice matches. So the under-21s played against, that's Bill and Movin. They played against the national senior players, that's Jan Flora, who is also their coach, and Jalen Robinson. And so they travel on Tuesday to the Dominican Republic, and their competition will be on Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
So you're training where? Which beach are you all training at? Miro?
Miro Beach, yes.
Okay.
That's Mingo and Frederick.
Yes, Mingo and Frederick. And we also have an under-18 pair who will be participating in the under-18 category of that tournament. It will be from the 7th to the 9th of July, also in Dominican Republic. That is Clifton Anthony and Kylo Robinson. So they also are at training right now.
Beautiful. Are you satisfied that we have the quality of coaching in Dominica to take our players to the next level, or do we need technical assistance?
Well, the thing is, we at the Dominica Amateur Volleyball Association has taken up every opportunity that we could possibly get to increase the level of our coaching in Dominica. So at the moment, we have 4 coaches who are FIVB certified coaches. So they have that certificate from the FIVB, and they also have an Olympic Solidarity certificate in the technical aspects of the game. So we have well-qualified coaches who are able to transmit the knowledge and elevate the level of the players. It also helps that the main coaches, Jan Flora and Ray Robinson, have experience playing at that level on the Nausicaa Tour and so on. So they know what it's like, they know what it takes to be successful at that level. So they're able to bring that information across.
Mingo and Frederick will be home on Sunday.
They will be leaving on Tuesday.
Tuesday next week.
Yes.
So why don't we celebrate them on Sunday before the major game? Expose them. These are our players that'll be going out, and give them a certain level of recognition. Yeah.
Interestingly, on Sunday, both of these players will be featuring for their clubs. So
Okay.
Frederick plays for Club One and Mingo plays for Sunrise. So while they are teammates on the beach, when it comes to club volleyball, they'll be coming up against each other on Sunday.
Interesting.
So we know definitely that is a big rivalry on the court between the two teams and between the players as well. So we look forward to that. Last Friday, we had a recognition ceremony for the athletes at the Dominica Olympic Committee House, where they were recognized and given tokens for their hard work.
You were recognized by whom?
So it was a combination of the Volleyball Association, the Ministry of Sport, and the Olympic Committee.
Okay.
Who is sponsoring the local league?
The local league is sponsored by KFC. They've helped us a great deal. They've contributed to the development of the sport. They've also chipped in recognizing our athletes who participated at the beach volleyball tournament. So we would like to just always say thank you to KFC, because without them, I don't think volleyball would be at the level that it is right now.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you. All the best, my brother Sidney John.
Hold on. I think Lobby has a question. Go ahead, Lobby.
No, not a question. Just
I saw you
what
were
I'm saying.
putting your hands up. Huh?
No, continue what I'm saying there. Continue.
Okay. All right. Well, Sidney, thanks, eh? Thanks for joining us. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Okay. So we'll take a break now, guys. After this, we'll take our...
Before the break, Sibo, just a
Uh-huh.
point before the break, there's something that the people in Dominica have to understand about the need for a synthetic track. This hasn't been sung home as yet. For times, for sprints in particular, sprints, 1-to-1 for your sprints, electronic timing, grass timing will not be accepted by an international body in terms of qualifying for World Championship, Olympic Games, all right, Pan Am Games. The track is very, very important. Where you can have your electronic timing, you can have things organized, things on display, and the athletes will be satisfied and well timed. These things are very, very important. For much too long, we have been having just hand timing, it's not easy, it's good that you can have your track and the clock is positioned. When you finish run, you can see your time.
Okay, thanks, Lobby. Let's take our break now.
Where in Roseau, Kimasha Deals, you can just walk in and order all your chicken parts, wholesale, and even enjoy retail. It's at AC Shillingford, all chicken parts available that you can afford. Fresh breast, and you know breast is best. Shillingford wings have muscle. After you eat it, you can fly. As for Shillingford chicken drumsticks, even swinging stars just order drumsticks from Shillingford. And for those of you who love Risapul, AC Shillingford keeps your belly full. Buy your chicken wholesale at AC Shillingford, from wings to thighs to drums to breasts to backs to necks. It's available. It's always available, and it's affordable. Plus, you've got pork feet, ham and turkey, bull foot, chicken nuggets, pepperoni, all those right seasonings to make your kitchen keep on ticking. Buy your wholesale chicken at AC Shillingford. When you think of chicken, think of AC Shillingford. Always ready.
One day what you do, shop at SCA. Better than the rest, go shop at SCA. And they often say, shop at SCA. You get more for life, shop at SCA. Shop at SCA, yeah, shop at SCA. Shop at SCA, what is that? Shop at SCA. Yes, family, customer friendly. When the locations is so convenient, and our price is there. Madam, that's where you belong. So tell your mama, tell your papa, shop at SCA. Tell your son and your daughter, shop at SCA. And the nan and cousin friend, open power, all of them. My grandpa, open neighbor, girlfriend, boyfriend, side. Shop at SCA. Shop at SCA. Shop at SCA. Shop at SCA. Check us out at Portersville, High Street, and downtown Rose. The New India Insurance Company has reopened its doors in Portsmouth, offering the same great services you get in Roseau. Motor vehicle insurance, home and business owners, fire and related perils, public liability, and so much more. Come, visit us today for insurance with a personal touch on Bay Street, Portsmouth, or call us at 445-4023. We are ready to serve you. Dominicans, insure your property, protect your property. You homeowner and businessman, protect your property, insure your property. Can't wait for the hurricane, can't wait till you flood again, can't wait till your roof fly out and all your business coming out. Remember, no insurance company will insure your property when a storm is approaching. Get ahead of the hurricane season. Insure with a company who gives you the assurance of payment for your valid claim. Come speak with us today at the New India Assurance Company Limited, upstairs AC Shillingford and Company Limited, 24 King George Street, Roseau. Bring along an up-to-date valuation from a qualified engineer and get insured today. Looking for a quiet, relaxing place to stay? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Leaving the office late and need somewhere close to town? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Have business clients coming in and need accommodation? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Looking for group accommodation? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Located at 37 Goodwill Road in Portersville, upstairs ACS Supermarket. Enjoy our semi-self-contained rooms with private washroom, bathroom, Wi-Fi, air condition, cable network, mini refrigerator, all in a non-smoking environment. Call or WhatsApp at 1767-275-1899 or email us at info@portersplaceguesthouse.com to make your reservations. Porter's Place, your home away from home, fit for a king, a queen, and all their royal subjects.
Our second community sponsor.
Yes, so we are back and we're going to be talking to Dr. Andre, who's in Canada. He broke the news about Val Felix. None of us here knew about or seen Val Felix play. We heard about him. Dr. Andre, you're in Canada. You told us about Val Felix. I mean, tell listeners what's happening.
Yes, let me say good evening to you, Sibo. Thank you for inviting me, to the great Mr. Loblack, Dr. Fontaine, Mr. Lander, who I know very well, and your esteemed listeners. I should say your esteemed, loyal listeners. I had occasion to meet with Val when I was doing this book. I interviewed him at his home a few times. I interviewed other persons who knew him well, people like Philippe Arline, people like Heber Shillingford, people like our esteemed magistrate, Ozzie Lewis. And before I give you some details, let me just give you some of the descriptions of this fellow. In 2013, 2013, Philip Arline wrote, quote, "Val Felix's princely look on the field as captain, a grand cricketer, few better in my view." Heber Shillingford described him as, quote, "one of the best batsmen I will ever see, a cricketer possessed with a lordly brilliance." The late jurist Albert Matthew, himself an open batsman for Dominica in the 50s, who represented Dominica many times, this said of Val Felix, having been superior to many test batsmen, and felt that he was not inferior to Sir Clyde Walker. This is the measure of the man. He was the younger brother, as we all know, of the late Cardinal who passed away not too long ago. Born in the vicinity of Dominica, in Dr. Fontaine's backyard, so to speak. grew up in Roseau. His father was an assistant commissioner of police by the late 1940s. He was transferred to St. Lucia in 1950. Val represented St. Lucia, just as Sibo represented Dominica, when he was still a student at the St. Mary's School in St. Lucia. And he proceeded to play for the Windward Islands, the Leeward Islands, and to captain the combined Windward and Leeward Islands.
You mean
He had
Val Felix? Hold on, Doctor. He actually captained the combined island, Val Felix?
Absolutely. I'll give you a little more detail. Val had a natural athleticism. He was a tall man, on about 6'2", very elegant. In fact, I describe him in one publication as the epitome of effortless grace, style, and elegance. What were his career highlights? He had quite a few. In a match between the Windward Islands and Trinidad at the Botanic Gardens in the 50s, he scored his highest score in cricket at that level, a chanceless 158 runs. When a visiting Australian side played the Windward Islands in May of 1955, Val Felix got 57 runs in his side's total of 275 in the same match. The great Alec Reid, the great Dominican wicketkeeper, took 5 catches behind the stumps. Val played a number of important cricket matches in the 50s. As I said, a member of the Windward Islands cricket team, he played against the MCC in Grenada in 1954 and in 1957. He captained the Windward Islands team against Pakistan. When he played against Australia in 1955, he played against one of Australia's great batsmen, a player called Neil Harvey.
One of the greatest Australians, Neil Harvey. Right?
That's right. Felix is his major success as a batsman. He scored 139 runs against a Trinidadian club called the Aussie Sports Club in 1955, 108 against St. Lucia in 1957, 56 against Trinidad, and 50 against Australia. He captained Dominican side in 55 in the second game against the Aussie Sports Club. In 56 and 57 in the Cork Cup tournament and the Windward Island side in 57. He also captained the combined Windward and Leeward Islands side in 1958. Perhaps the greatest highlight of his career, as you may know, Sibo, was his involvement in the trials for the West Indies team to tour England in 57.
Whoa.
During the trials, during the Windward Leeward Islands side, to play as part of those trials. They played 3 matches against the Trinidadian side led by former West Indies cricket captain Jeffrey Stolmeyer. Felix and Alex Reid were the sole Dominican players on the team. He acquitted himself very well during the trials. He scored 65 and 63 runs in 2 innings and took at least 3 wickets in each match.
Dr. Andre, just hold on a while. We are on the line with us, Heavy Shillingford, who would join you in speaking about Val Felix. You would have seen Val Felix, so I'm sure Heavy will join you in talking about Val. St. Davis, good evening.
Good evening to you, Lockhart Sebastian, and your multitude of listeners.
Yes, and we have Dr. Andre right there as well. Dr. Andre.
Well, good evening, Doctor.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah. Go ahead. What you said?
I said good evening to Dr. Andre, and of course,
good evening.
We wish we were not discussing a thing like the past of the iconic Val Felix.
St. Davis, you actually saw Val Felix play. I don't think Dr. Andre would have. You saw him play, right?
Yes, I saw him play, and I was probably in the unique position of having played with him, so to speak, from infancy. That boys aged 10, 12, and we played our own little cricket matches. And he was a person who was in the sense that we all came under the influence of the late Wati, who was a sports master at the Dominica Grammar School, which we entered. And Mr. Wati was the maths teacher and sports in his spare time. And he had on how we regarded the game and how we should approach it and that sort of thing. And Val Felix being a youngster of 10, 12, realized not much attention was being paid to the youngsters. It was more the school team. So he formed his own little league in the grammar school, in the lower forms and so on. And during the school holidays, he would organize, all played and so on. And he went on to play for Dominica about 15 or 16.
You mean Val Felix? He played for Dominica at the age of 15? 16?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Hold on a while. Dr. Andre, I mean, in Canada, did he get involved in cricket at all? Hold on, St. Davis. Just hold on.
I'm hearing you very softly. I don't know.
But we're hearing you very clearly. Are you hearing us?
Yeah, but I'm not hearing you.
Wow. We're hearing you clearly.
Okay.
Hold on a while. Dr. Andre is going to tell us something. Yes, Dr. Andre.
Yeah, he certainly played cricket in Canada. He represented Ontario. He played with a few other West Indian cricketers, including, what's his name? He died quite recently. Mello. Mello is another one who played cricket for Canada. Well, for his province, but certainly Val played, and he played for quite a few years before his retirement. And again, he excelled both with the bat and with the ball.
St. Davis, tell us. I mean, you say I heard you on OC say that he was better than Irvin. What sort of batsman was he, Val Felix?
6'2", 6'3" in height. He was athletic. That is, he was not thin, but he was not, so to speak, he was solidly built, strong wrist, strong, of course, very powerful shoulders. He was a very good athlete. Very well off the front, mostly off the front foot. That's difficult to keep Val Felix quiet, bowling him just on the off stump or outside the off stump. He was very good at driving, straight driving and driving through the covers and so on. He also had a fairly good square cut and a good pull. But he was the kind of batsman you couldn't keep. He was one of the very first batsmen in the Windward Islands to begin to score centuries as if that was the normal design of things. Before that, players got out when they were 40, 50 or 60 runs and scoring centuries. And he left Dominica when his family went over to St. Lucia, and he immediately started for St. Lucia as well. That is in the Windward Islands cricket tournament and so on. But I must say that Val Felix, whether you take it as being facetious, he made the mistake that many of our sports people made. They made the mistake of not being born in That is a difficult thing in the sense that you can't choose where you're born, but there was always that incident. Took part in Windward, West Indies cricket. The only time I heard of West Indies having trial matches, that was in 1956, to select the team to go to England, 57. Fairly well in that, and Alec Reid did not. And the dropping of Val Felix, that is the non-selection of Alec Reid, I think that sort of disillusioned Val Felix. Remember, in 1956, Val was only 22, 23 years old, you know, having done all right. And I'm sure you'll probably have not accepting what I say. When I say that, when I look at the West Indies team, I don't see any West Indies team who really holds a candle to Val.
Okay, Dr. Andre, are they planning a big send-up for him in Canada?
Well, I'm waiting to get a response from his son, he's a judge in the one of the Ontario courts, and I certainly hope that subject to when his funeral will take place, I certainly look forward to attending because although he was a quiet gentleman, but quite a few people know of him. They know of his family. He has another 2 sisters in Ontario, and he worked for a bank in Toronto for a long period of time. I should also say that in one of my interviews with him, here's what he said to me. He bowled to the great English batsman Len Hutton. He faced England paceman Ray Lindwall. He played in a game with Australian captain Ian Johnson.
Dr. Andre, Ray Lindwall is in Australia, not England.
No, yes, that's what I'm saying. Okay, Ray Lindwall. And he played against a Pakistan team in 1957, which included ace bowler Fazail Mahmood.
Mm-hmm.
Again, as I told you, he played in Canada. He represented both Ontario and Canada in the 70s, and he captained a cricket team in Scarborough, which is one of the eastern cities of Toronto. He certainly attended the Ryerson University, then the Ryerson College, and as I said, he worked with a local bank for many years. So, quite a distinguished, exceptional cricketer, and it's a sad indictment of us that we don't know of the exploits of people like Alex, like Val Felix, or even for that matter, Emmanuel LeBlanc, who I used to admire when I was at sixth form with his karate things, breaking all kinds of things, and the only thing I could break was a coconut cheese. And these sports. So it's a sad indictment that there is no central repository.
No Hall of Fame, right?
No Hall of Fame of those great kickers. Havis himself had a very distinguished career as a sports person, not just in cricket and football, but also in other sports, captain in
netball
national netball teams and so on and so forth. So it is unfortunate.
How would you remember Val Felix?
I didn't get that.
How would you remember Val Felix?
How
would you remember him?
How
would you remember him?
I remember him as a fantastic batsman, very brilliant fielder in the country, sure pickup, very fast in the field, sure pickup, and he reminded me of the young Clive Lloyd of some years later. Fast on his feet, certain pickup, and a brilliant throw to the wicketkeeper or over the bail, wherever it was. But the thing I am concerned about with Val Felix is that we have a heritage, so to speak, in respect of cricket. And Val is a giant in that respect. But what about it? Just naming something after him and whatnot and so on, this is not enough. I think we need to do something about our cricket. And of course, I intend to talk with you, Locker.
Yes.
About what should be done about Dominica sports in general and certainly about our cricket.
Yes. Well, we discussed that, so at some point we'll arrange that. And I just want to say thanks to both of you, gentlemen. Dr. Andre, thank you.
Dr. Andre, I want to make a suggestion to you. We've got a very youthful cricket executive at this point in time. And I would appreciate if you could send a summary achievement of Val Felix to the Cricket Association, so there'll be a better place to give him some kind of recognition in Dominica, in collaboration with what Havis and Sebastian is planning.
Great idea, but the question is, are they listening?
They will. Sebastian will let them listen.
I will do whatever I can because I think we have to preserve this. We have to preserve this history for posterity.
Yes. And something can be done in Dominica to recognize such an outstanding individual.
I agree totally.
Need a batsman to go in there like a
okay.
A batsman of great temperament, one who is not cowed or intimidated by fast bowling or anything like that.
Okay, so guys, thank you very much. It was nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you.
Good night, Mr. Havis.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, folks. Okay, bye.
All right, thanks.
Take care.
Yeah, thanks. We have callers. Let's take the callers here. Yeah. What? Yeah. Good evening.
Hello. Okay.
Babs, that's you? Yeah, we're hearing you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have to give condolences to Val Siddick's family. Very few left. But you know, Val Siddick's name is Irving Augustus Phillips. And you remember in those days there was an artist, the kind of artist they called Valentino. And it is because of Valentino, because of the stature and the look of Val Siddick. In St. Lucia, they named him Val as Valentino. That is how. But his name is not Val Siddick. He is Irving Augustus Phillips. And I was privileged to play under his captaincy both here in Dominica and in Canada. In 1958, he was captain Dominica, and I played for that when they played the island against the rest, I played that team. And my brother's son, who is in Canada also, is the same age with Val Siddick. And he played with Val Siddick in the 50s. Val Siddick was, as I said, a very exciting cricketer. He was in my view, one of the best batsmen Dominica has seen. He played, I think, an unofficial test for the West Indies in Trinidad, together with Alec Reed. They were two Dominicans. He was a very good captain, and that's why he captained, and he was the captain Dominica. I think he captained St. Lucia, if I'm not mistaken. But you know, his father was a deputy commissioner of police here and transferred to St. Lucia, and that is how he went to St. Lucia. His brother, Cardinal Phillips, but he had his brother Carlton Phillips, who was in Dominica when they were resident and captain Dominica football. I played under him as captaincy in 1960 when Carlton was the captain of the Dominica football. So I know a lot about Val Siddick. As I said, we went to Canada. He was in Canada. He played for the Victoria Park Cricket Club in Canada. When he heard I came to Canada, he called me and I joined that club. And then after playing 1 or 2 matches, I left and I played and I captained the Commonwealth Cricket Club in Canada. So that Val Siddick, as I said, it's one of the exciting cricketers Dominica has ever seen. But somebody made the point, and I think it is very, very, very sad that we don't have a sort of a museum for cricket, showing the cricketers, but sports in general, the heroes of sports in Dominica. I think they have something like that in Grenada. You go to Grenada and you'll see all those teams, and as a matter of fact, you'll see the bats that Lara and Silver, all that in Grenada. We love that in Dominica. I think we need that museum in Dominica. We have a stadium where it's called 1 or 2 of our cricketers only. But there are lots of famous sports Dominicans, and I think we need something like that.
All right. Thank you, Babs. Thank you very much. Thank you. So, yeah, thank you so much. Nice for giving us that information. Thank you. Okay, guys, we're going to be speaking now to Andrew Mason in Barbados. He just driving home from cricket, the commenting on today's play. Andrew, are you hearing us? Good night.
Yeah, are you hearing me?
We're hearing you loud and clearly. The first question I want to ask you.
Okay, but I'm hearing you loud. I'm hearing you loud and clear as well. Yeah.
The first question I want to ask you, watching cricket, but to me there are more foreigners in the ground than Bajans, right? Is that a fact? I see a lot of Australians.
That's very true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very true.
Why is that?
Yeah, that's true. In fact, I'm told that. Yeah. Look, I'm told that Jason Gillespie, the former Australian fast bowler, you know, these guys are very much into getting people across the world to come and watch cricket. There's these tour groups, and he's brought over 2,000 Australians. I'm told they're going to be going on to Grenada as well, and then up to Jamaica. So you're right. I would suggest too that there are a lot of school children. There's no question about that. And what's interesting, Lockhart, is that it's only $5 to actually get into the ground.
That is all they're charging. I mean, that is a joke. $5. That's about $10
$5
Yeah.
Yeah, $5 to get into cricket. Yeah.
Let me ask you, Andrew.
The pitch.
The pitch. I've watched cricket all my life, but this pitch to me is not a pitch because the match. I'll be very surprised if it goes past tomorrow. I'll be very surprised. So here you have a pitch where the match could be over in 3 days.
But in fact, Pat Cummins. Yeah, right. Well, in fact, Pat Cummins was making the point at the press conference the day before the game started. He said he didn't know what to expect. And, you know, when you played Lockhart, you came to Kensington Oval, you got a good pitch, a bit of bounce, you know, and you could bat on it, you could bowl it. It was a good cricket pitch, but not anymore. In the last,
good even bounce.
No, yeah, good even bounce, but not anymore. And in fact, he saw a couple of deliveries keeping low. We saw one or two really spat at the batsman. In fact, towards the end of the day's play with Travis Head batting. And the Australians quietly are not happy at all about the pitch. It's not an easy pitch to bat on.
Oh, definitely. In fact, Andrew, 200 runs will not be straightforward to score on that pitch. Surely, West Indies don't want to be scoring more than 150, chasing more than 150.
Yeah. This is why, Lockhart, I think the first session tomorrow is going to be important. They're 91 for 4.
92.
The reality is that it's pretty 92. Yeah. I don't want to steal that run from them. So they are ahead by 82 runs.
Right.
That first session is going to be crucial tomorrow. Tomorrow, Joseph and company, if they can get some good rest tonight and come back and really restrict the Australians, we could be in for an interesting test match. But the first hour's play, I said the first session is going to be important tomorrow. The West Indies will be looking to really get into the middle order and then the tail. And you're right. Anything over I would say anything over 180 could be difficult for the West Indies.
Well, Andrew, you were at cricket today. You were in the commentators box. Tell us about this kind of questionable umpiring decisions today.
Oh, absolutely terrible. In fact, you know, I just I'm on the road now with my Australian guys. In fact, I just dropped them off at the hotel, and it was terrible. I mean, look at the one with Shea Hope.
But
I mean, inside edge, it dropped. But I'm told, Lockhart, that the ruling was that the third umpire felt that he was in total control of the ball. That's a joke.
You mean the umpire? You mean Alex Carey? That's what the umpire is saying. Huh, Andrew?
Yeah. He's saying that he was in control of the ball.
Oh man! And what about the catch Shea Hope that went straight into Shea Hope's glove yesterday? Did the umpire see that one as well? Clearly caught yesterday.
Wow, God! And today Roston chased the ball, hit the bat first.
Yes, exactly.
And then the one with the LBW of the LBW, and he said it is the bad hitting.
You mean Cameron Green?
Cameron Green.
Yeah.
To me,
Cameron Green. Yeah. No, they've been hammered. In fact, on television, Carlos Brathwaite hammered them. It was terrible, absolutely terrible. So
Andrew,
much for technology.
Yeah, Andrew, you've seen many Australian teams, and I've seen many as well. But this batting team is a poor Australian batting team. Let's be honest. This batting team, Australian batting team.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're in shambles of what happened to them against South Africa. A week, just over a week ago. So they're really struggling. I mean, look at the opening position. You know, you got Kawaj, who's getting very old now. Conte's 19 years old. They say in Australia he's got lots of ability. I don't think Cam Green is a number 3 batsman. So they're really struggling. Inglis looks not to be a top player. So for the first time, you're right, Lockhart. This is the worst Australian team I've seen in terms of batting in a long time.
Yeah, very poor.
What do you think about the selection of 2 spinners in Barbados by the West Indies team?
Well, no. That's in my view a very, very good question you asked. And the vice captain of the West Indies team has not bowled the ball in the match in Jamal Warrican. And Darren Sammy was on your show recently, and well done. You made headlines all over the world. But let me say this to you: the selection of Warrican in this Test match, albeit he did it very well in Pakistan. But if you've got someone like a Jaden Seals, you've got Shamar Joseph, of course, and you also have a backup. And Graves, I mean, he bowled very well, and Alzari Joseph. That's a good combination. You've got Roston Chase. Well, then there's no need, in my view, to play Warrican. Warrican's position should have gone to a batsman. And when I look around, I think the player that should play for Warrican is Kevin Hodge. And I'll tell you why. Hodge was unfair, and I think that on reflection, he was unfair. I mean, there's no question about that. What you need for Hodge to come in the middle order and bat, and also if needed, bowl a left arm spin that Warrican bowls, and of course you got the off spinner in Roston Chase. So what would happen there is that he's going to strengthen your batting. He's a decent left arm spinner, and lest we forget, he's an extremely good fielder, good catcher.
Brilliant
good catcher. One of the best in the region.
But Andrew, what happens? I've always seen that anytime you have 6 bowlers, you find yourself one bowler is not going to bowl too many overs. And that's what has happened there. You have 4, and in fact, that is why it was an error to announce Warrican as the vice captain so early. That was an error.
Oh yes, I mean, but you see, as we say in the Caribbean, you force your hand by picking by announcing a vice. There's no need to announce a vice captain. Absolutely no need to do that. What you do is that you pick your squad, and then you name a vice captain from the 13-man squad. True. What they did was pick Chase as the captain and Warrican as the vice captain. That does not make sense. And your vice captain has not bowled a ball in the match.
And may not bowl a ball.
And as maybe highly unlikely that you bowl.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you see, you got the good combination now of Alzari Joseph, who I must say his length is improved. He's working with his personal coach, Kenny Benjamin. I don't know how that is working out, though, because I don't know if any other team in the world where you got a head coach, you got an assistant coach, but on tour, on tour, Winston Benjamin is your personal bowling coach.
I know in athletics, in the Olympics, guys have their personal coach, but I've never seen that in cricket where you have your bowling coaches and a player has to bring his own coach.
No, never.
Winston Benjamin. Yeah, I've never seen that.
Only in the West Indies. Only in the West Indies.
That said something about Ravi Rampal and his ability to coach at that level. Now, West Indies have dropped some crucial catches, and we need to deal with that. That's a very critical situation. But the question I want to put to you, do you know anything about the degree of error in the electronic playback system?
Yeah, well, that's, I mean, here you have a situation where you've invested so heavily, it's almost like VAR in football getting it wrong. And I'm saying to you that you simply cannot get it wrong. I mean, how can you get it wrong? Let's use the example of Ruston Chase. Now, when I first saw it, they slowed it down. There was an inside edge on to the pad. Did you see that?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You saw that, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right. So if there's an inside edge onto the pad, you do not go any further.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
They went further. They went further and gave up Ruston Chase.
Yeah, in fact,
Does that make sense?
You could see Ruston Chase wasn't happy at all. I mean, with that decision, he clearly wasn't happy.
Because he knew he hit the ball.
Yeah, he hit it. I mean, he hit the ball. And as I said yesterday, this catch of Hope, how could the umpire not have seen that ball was clearly into his gloves, Andrew Mason? I don't understand that.
And the very first playback showed it, you know.
Yeah,
the very
clearly into his
first time
glove.
they showed the playback, it was clear he hit the glove.
Yeah. Andrew, I need to ask you a question. We talk about Graves. Do you believe, honestly, that Graves at 7 is better than Jason Holder at 7? No.
Well, no, that is an interesting one. I'm told that the West Indies selectors were very upset with Jason Holder for not going to Australia. You heard that? Did you hear that as well?
Sometimes I speak to certain people and certain things. Yeah, you hear them. Yeah, you hear them. Yeah, you hear certain things.
Yeah, I heard that, and I heard that he has not been forgiven for that, and that's why, of course, Justin Graves came into the side. So that's what I'm hearing, and he actually hasn't bowled badly, you know, in both innings so far. In fact, I was talking to the Australian commentators, and they were saying that the Australian batsman yesterday said that he was a bit of a handful, and he bowled very, very well today. A decent medium pacer, a good catcher, and also one who can come in at number 7, you know, and try and make some runs as well. I think what has happened is that they're transitioning now, and they are going past Jason Holder, whom I'm told is still interested in playing. But I'm also told that, along with Kyle Mears, your good friend Kyle Mears, that these guys have been put out to pasture.
Yeah, but you see, West
Have you heard that Kyle Mears has been put out to pasture too as well?
But Kyle Mears is a young boy, so we don't have the players to be just packing people on the side like that. We don't have the quality of players.
I agree. I totally agree with you on that. I mean, you don't have the resources. Why would you want to do that? Well, why is Kyle Mears not playing cricket for the West Indies?
Exactly. I mean, if you don't want him, and in Test cricket, he's done well. He bowls a good seam and he makes runs. I mean, I just don't understand it. That if we're saying we're starting afresh,
absolutely.
Mason, I would like your take on Campbell and his reintroduction into the West Indies team and what you thought of the way he played in this morning.
Yeah, but he didn't look good at all. I mean, you know, boy, he's age 34 now. Has been out of cricket for over 2 years because of the ban and all that. Came back, had 1 or 2 solid performances. But the question is, should you go back to him, or should you look to a new young opener? Well, they tried Louis. He got 1 or 2 decent scores, but they think technically that Louis is not ready. That's what I'm told.
Mm-hmm. I believe so as well. But Andrew, questions must be asked about Craig Barfoot as well, eh? Questions must be asked about him as well.
Yeah. No, he's in trouble. You know, this is his 99th test. And in fact, before the game started, he needed 65 runs to become one of the elite West Indian batsmen to get 6,000 runs. It's a serious examination for him. And I suspect that they will allow him to play in Grenada for his 100th test match. But if he fails, he may not go to Jamaica.
Yeah, well,
it's 100th test match is going to be in Grenada.
Andrew, his last 20 innings, he might have passed 50 only twice, eh? In his last 20 innings. He only passed 50 twice. Craig Barfoot. Are you hearing us, Andrew?
I didn't get the question.
I said...
I didn't hear what you said.
I said Craig Barfoot, in his last 20 innings, he might have passed 50 only twice.
That's true. That's very true. And he's clearly on the decline as a batsman. And I think that he knows that. I understand, he just in frustration and maybe not seeing eye to eye with Darren Sammy, because his resignation came as a complete surprise. Because as you know, he would have won that game, the last test match in Australia, went to Pakistan, when people felt we were going to be beaten badly. So on the back of two important victories, you would have felt that he would have had capital to maintain the job, but instead he decided to call it quits. But I understand his relationship with Sammy was not the best.
And also, Andrew, I thought King looked like he belonged on the team. No?
Brandon King.
Yeah, but he's not played in a long time. He started today at 23, looked as if he would look to go on, and then but he was dropped, as you know, and then left the ball on length, and it got his off stump plucked out of the ground. So again, I think it's a policy on the part of Darren Sammy really to try to encourage white ball cricketers to play red ball cricket. I think that's the mission.
Yes. Okay, Andrew, I know you're driving. We don't want to keep you too long. Please don't stop at St. Lawrence Gap. Try and go home because you have cricket tomorrow. Don't stop at St. Lawrence Gap.
No. I'm on my way home, Lockhart.
Right.
I'm on my way home, Lockhart.
So don't stop at St. Lawrence Gap. So drive home. Get a good night.
Glasses. You still stopping glasses?
Okay, Andrew, good night. I will talk to you again.
All the best.
All right, take care.
Have a good night.
Yeah, take care.
Both.
Yes,
Both.
Lobby.
I was very happy at the candid thing Mr. just said about the omission of Hodge. I've been saying for the longest while.
But sometimes, Lobby, sometimes people say things sometimes to please where they are, please who listen to them. Eh? That's all.
Listen to me. Listen to me. That is a fact. That is a fact. Sammy, to me, Sammy he didn't know what to say. About I spoke to the two players about it was just, to me, this omission was just useless. It was just total useless and it's about averages. All right, averages. It's just
but
total
on
nonsense.
the strength of Cavem's performance in the last year, to be named among the top 5 West Indian cricketers for the award of top cricketer of the year, on that basis, he should be on the team. I just don't understand this.
Sometimes, guys, you remember weeks ago I said right here that the vibe I was getting was Hope going to keep. You remember I said that right here. No, when that was told to me, the person I discussed, I said, no, I can't agree with that. I said to them, if you're talking about regional competition, you can't tell me Hope hasn't played red ball. He probably has played 3 in 4 years. On what basis? We had a long discussion. I said, no, whatever you say, can't I can't agree with that. Because here is a young guy, Emlak, he went to Pakistan, he did fairly well. He comes back and makes runs for Guyana, helps Guyana win the title. And then you telling me, I'm not saying, I have no problem with Hope playing. I think Hope,
he should play.
And I think the position he's batting is the ideal position for him. Because against the fast bowling, when the ball is above his chest high, and so he struggles. So I think coming in that position is good for him. But when I was told so, and I mentioned it here, I didn't agree with it. I didn't think that what was done to Imlak was right. I mean, what message you sending? That here you are people playing before the competition, they perform, and we just forget. And guys who just not making the competition. Hope came back and say he played 1 game for Barbados, and that was it.
Wow.
1 game. He scored about 5 and 10, and that was it. Holder played 2 games because Jason Holder still wants to play. But it appears that some people don't want him on the team, and I do not think we have enough quality cricketers that we should be putting people, to use Andrew's words, putting people to pasture. In the Bajan language, we should, you would have heard that language when you were in Barbados, that kind of putting people to pasture.
But Sibo, you said earlier on about 200, even Mr. said 180.
Well, 180 could even be too much too, yeah.
Now, you look at our top 4 batsmen right now, our top 4 batsmen. A lot depend on what they can offer, they can bring to the table. If we have, for example, we are facing 200, let's say if we are facing 200 or 180 again. a lot depend on the first 4 batsmen.
Mhm.
Very important.
Well, you need a good start. You need a good
Yeah,
start.
but
We never start.
and you guys talked about the pitch, but I looked at the way that Royston and
Hope
batted, and there was a period of time when they were completely unfazed.
Yes.
For about almost an hour, the guys were unfazed. So I don't think that the pitch is playing all that bad. I mean, I've not seen much. For example, the guy who got out, similar to how King got out when he left the ball and it
You mean
zipped back in. That
was
is
Josh English.
English, yeah.
But again, that was poor technique. Eh?
It's just right. That's the only thing. But I don't think that the pitch, too many pitches not playing as bad.
Nobody's on the other on even bound. Okay, look at Cathy. The ball before Cathy got out, it kept low. You remember that?
Yes.
Then the next ball coming towards his chest. So there's an even bounce there. Even the penultimate over today, you had Travis Head when the ball lifted suddenly got hit on his finger. So they're playing at 2 heights, and that is a problem for a batsman. I can tell you. That. Let's take this caller. Good evening.
Hello, Sibo.
Yes, lady.
I don't call back.
No, call anytime you want. You can call 100 times. Yes.
This is I'm Sammy's head coach.
Mm-hmm.
No, I always say when I call a program, I like to learn.
Right.
I don't know everything. What is he, head coach of what? I'm just asking.
He's the
players?
Cricket West Indies. He's head coach of all formats. In white ball, is T20, 50, and red ball. He's the all format
he's
coach.
coaching people or what?
Well, he's the head coach of the team. He has assistant coaches with him. He has Floyd Riffer, the batting coach. He has Ravi Rampal, another coach. There's Griffith, the fielding coach. So he has other people. So when they go to practice,
for me, Steve, break it down. So
Okay.
I'm head coach. What I'm saying, if I play in cricket, right? I'm cricketer. He coaching me how to play, then or what?
You're asking a good question. And I remember Ian Chappell years ago saying, the only coach he wants is the coach that's a big boss that takes the players to the ground. That's Ian Chappell saying that. I always believe where you need coaches at under 15, under 19. When people get to that level, you can't really say he's a coach, because what are you going to tell a guy like Craig Brathwaite now? You can't change his thing. So the coach, the name at that level, sometimes can be a bit of a question mark. Yeah.
No final question.
Mhm.
That position they saw how long?
He has what I know from Darren has a 3-year contract. I think that's what I think he
He
has.
has a 3-year contract.
Yes.
So after that, they look at other people.
Well, they might re-engage him again. You don't know. It
So I'm
depends.
just asking.
Yeah. No problem. That's how people learn. You're never too old to learn, my lady.
Anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Time is of essence here. I want to make mention of another cricket activity.
That's why we have another caller. Let's take the caller. Hold on. Good evening.
Yes, Sibo, good evening.
Yeah, what's up, man?
And Dr. Fountain, I'm doing fine. And Lobby.
Mhm.
Okay.
Normally, when I call your program, I just like to make my point. And
No
get
problem.
out, you know.
Make your point.
But tonight, Sibo, give me a little 3 or 4 minutes.
No, go ahead. We'll listen to you. Go ahead.
First of all, I want to congratulate the caller who just called
Right.
for respectfully and diplomatically telling Sammy, so you have not answered my question. Can you please answer the question? Why was Hodge and
Afanaz
omitted? And then I want to commend Bob for being straight to the point, telling him they should not be left out. Sammy came on your program last week and insulted the listeners of Sports Rap and Dominica by extension, believing that we don't know cricket.
True.
You know, and then talking about we shouldn't be glorifying people who average in the 20s. We're not glorifying Hodge and Afanaz. What we're saying is that we cannot say they deserve to be on the team, but they did not perform worse than those that are on the team. And I did some homework for Sports Rap listeners. Brathwaite, 98 test matches, average 33.15. Campbell, 20 test matches, average 26.11. Hope, 48 test matches, averaging 25. Chase, 49 test matches, averaging 26. King, I think it was King, today was his first test. Was it Thursday? Was that Ostibo?
Yes, yeah.
Brendan
Correct.
King.
Yeah, correct. First test match.
His first test match. But his overall stats, 52 matches, averaging 29.
In what? In what? Hold on. In what? In what format?
Restate.
No. His average in first class cricket is 34. I can tell you that for sure. Not 29. His average in first class cricket is 34.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, let me just leave him up because he made his debut today. Hodge, 11 matches, 25.27. Asanas 13, 25.1. Now, the only person who is not in the 20s is Craig Brathwaite. After 98 test matches, today was his 99th test. All the others are in their 20s. But Sammy coming and insult us, telling me we shouldn't be glorifying people that in the averaging in their 20s. Shehop, 48 test matches, 25. Exactly 25. So Hodge and Asanas is average is higher than Shehop, 25.27 and 25.1. And somebody say they say Hodge is a blocker. Who is the biggest blocker than Brathwaite right now? As a matter of fact, Brathwaite has perfected the art of blocking, and he's talking about things. So I really wish Australia decimate them in that.
No way. I wouldn't agree with you. No way you can support an Australian team to be the West Indies. No way. Australia, no way.
No way.
You know, Australia, that's one team I never ever supported. Even when they play in England, I don't know who to support. Australia and England. You still there? Still there?
Yes.
Okay. I can never support Australia.
Two teams I do not support is Australia and England.
Right. So you could not want them to beat West Indies. No way. Honestly, I want us to beat Australia 3-0.
Sammy will think what he did was good. You will play there. I want Australia to beat them.
Okay.
Santiago, one last thing. Just if I go. If you're managing somebody like the Indian wicketkeeper, what would you say to him?
Well, you know, certain people, you just leave them alone. If you go and tell Pant, or like Vivian Richard, you tell him, boy, I want you to go and play. No, you love the people like that. I mean, what can you tell Pant?
Don't compare Richard with Pant.
No, hear what I was saying. I wasn't comparing him. I say people like, no, Pant is not a 20 over. Pant is a high-class test batsman. You crazy, man. Ronald, Richard Pant has an average of 44 in test cricket, you know, with 7, 8 when you say nobody 10. You're crazy. The guy, listen, Pant is in the top 10 in bats in the world.
Absolutely.
Easily, Richard Pant. You're crazy. At T20, man.
He's an extraordinary talent.
The guy can change a game in a moment. It's like Harry Brook. No.
Yes. No.
So, to answer your question, there are certain people you just leave them alone. It doesn't make sense going and tell them, well, change it, go and block, or no, just let the guy back. That's how he will do crazy things on it. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes, Sibo, and I agree with you. And I believe he got, remember, sent a message. The coach sent a message
to him,
and then you can see he went into his shell. He started playing defensive, and the ball, that's how he tried to leave alone, you know. And when he got the ball, came back when he got out.
Well, that's why people like you just leave them alone. Let them bat. Let him bat.
Let him bat. Yeah. Thank you, gentlemen.
Take care.
Yeah.
We have to take another caller. 1 minute. Let the last caller. Good evening.
Yes, Simo.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, Simo. I heard somebody saying he playing a brand cricket. What is the brand cricket playing?
I guess he was to mimic England, right?
Well, listen, you remember I said last week, it's easy to talk about brand, but you have to have the players. If you want to,
of course.
You have to have the players to do it. If you want to have a brand of cricket, you must have the players to do it.
And the other thing is, he's talking about man reaching 25 and so on. I mean, I actually called last week, but I knew you got them there last week, and you said, okay, you're going to get the most pressure. Then, I see you try to, cool down. But the point is, I was just talking nonsense. Man cricket, someone was man 25 and so on. I mean, look, I just didn't have time to get him. There's nonsense. You let a man inform. You let 4 men. I mean, how do you pick a man? How do you pick a team? If you give him because on the man performance.
Correct.
That's stupid happening with Semen. That's nonsensical. Some have a new thing. Anyway, I want West Indies to win,
Yeah, of course. We all want West Indies to win. Yeah. Yeah, man.
But you have to bat.
Predictions.
All right.
Predictions, Sibo.
Well, all I would say,
Thank you, caller.
if we have to score over 200, it might be a struggle. I'll say we don't want to be chasing, to me, more than 150 because and Travis Head is a guy that could change a game.
Right. And he's still there.
He's still there. So you have to get somebody out. And the website batted very well, and the other guy played some lovely strokes today.
Yes.
So we need to get it because if you chase it over 200, that's not going to be straightforward on a pitch like that. I can tell
And
you.
then Australia does not really fail twice, you know.
They failed twice in the World Cup against
the World
South
Test
Africa.
Championship,
The World Cup against South Africa.
No, I mean twice.
The batting is very questionable now.
No, Australian team now is poor.
Batting
By comparison, when
questionable.
you talk
The
about
bowling.
Australian teams, you look at people who batted free for Australia. Ian Chappell, Ricky
Waugh.
Ponting, Mac Waugh. Then you come and talk about Cameron Green. That's a poor team. And that's why we have to beat that team. And this Australian team is a poor team.
Well, it's a chance we have to beat them.
Yeah, it's a poor team.
Let me say on cricket before we close up. Cricket West Indies Rising Star Under-19 Championship is going to take place in St. Kitts from June 30th to July 25th. The Greenland Islands team has been selected, and Stefan Pascal is the captain. We've also got Lovio Charles, Joel Durant, Edmund Morancy, Lester Lestrade, and Asino Fountain.
I was
We've got around 6 players from Dominica. So it means that Dominica cricket is still looking up.
So what about the medium pacer?
What's his name?
From the Calnago.
What's his name? So even if our limitations or
the under 19.
under 19.
Yes.
And then interestingly, six players. Interestingly, Junior Moore is involved in the coaching staff.
Of where?
Of Windward Island.
You sure of that?
Yeah, Junior Moore is deputy coach. John Eugene is the coach.
I know John is the coach. I know that for sure.
Junior Moore of Grenada is stated as deputy coach.
Okay.
You know, and it's a 14-member team, and we've got 6 fellas in there.
This is great.
So this is very good for Dominica cricket.
Dominica. And by the way, the Calinago Cricket League.
Yeah, next week we'll get information from them,
So
from
they-
Alexander
they've-
Burton.
they've started.
Yeah. So, guys, we have to close up now. So, on behalf of Emmanuel LeBlanc, Dr. Fountain, Ronald Landa, I want to say good night. We'll be back next week. Good night, everybody. The Workers Program follows Sports Wrap. Yes, sir.
Together, feel alright. Hear the children crying. Hear the children crying. Saying, now feel